And welcome back to the series we are calling EDI Q&A in 20. This is being sponsored by the Office of Equity, Diversity, and Intercultural Programs at the University of Minnesota Morris. And the idea is that we interview a few people from different programs and offices around campus just to get to know them better and also how they service our students, faculty, and staff. My name is Liz Thompson. I'm the director at the Office of Equity, Diversity, and Intercultural Programs. I use they, them, their programs, and I am very excited to interview a new colleague to EDI, Jade. Jade, can you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, thanks, Liz. So my name is Jade Simonton. I use she, her, and hers pronouns. I am the new LGBTQIA2S Programs Coordinator, and I'm also the first-year area coordinator for the Office of Residential Life here at Morris. For those of you who don't know, I just recently graduated last December from the University of Minnesota Morris, and I'm really excited to be working with y'all.
Thanks, and we are really happy to have you. So the first question we have is, can you tell us a little bit why you're committed and why you're so passionate about working, obviously not only here back at your alma mater now at Morris, but also specifically in the LGBTQIA2S programs?
Yeah, my interest kind of started in high school. I was one of the founding members of our Gender and Sexuality Alliance in high school. And I'm from a small conservative town in South Dakota. So as you can imagine, we had some difficulties getting that started up, but it was so worth it to see the impact that we had in the students' lives and my peers' lives who kind of came to that organization. We gave each other community. And so coming to Morris, it was kind of a culture shock in a really good way, seeing how accepted people are here, discussing pronouns openly. So I'm definitely committed to kind of helping Morris grow a little bit more, even though we've done so much great work, we can definitely, keep it going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you. And so that leads us into our second question of, where do you think we are in the context of our queer communities and thinking about gender and sexuality and also all the diversity within the LGBTQIA2S community at Morris? Where do you think things are? And from your perspective as a recent alum and then now as an early professional staff member?
Right. So I have a unique experience of going right from being a student to being a professional here on campus. And so I've seen kind of the transitions that our campus has gone through since 2016. And I think this is the only college I ever went to, so I don't have many things to compare it to, but this campus is really good about kind of being open and being diverse and inclusive. I think most meetings, most classes, professors ask for pronouns, and the orientation leaders and the CAs on campus are great about introducing themselves with their pronouns and asking pronouns. So I think we are at a pretty good spot, but that definitely doesn't mean that we don't still have work to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and pronouns are definitely a good start, and we had a recent actual official policy change with that, even though it sounds like, also me still being new to Morris, it sounds like people were already doing that for the past few years. So that's great that when the policy actually became official, it actually wasn't kind of a big deal from what I heard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was nice to have an administrative change to kind of back up the culture that Morris kind of already supported. It leads us into being able to open up more policy changes to make things more official. I know it's a lot easier on MyU now for students to change their pronouns, to change their preferred name, and that's the name that the professors will actually see in class, which is great.
Mm-hmm. Can you say maybe a little bit, just especially for folks that might be new, about the gender inclusive housing?
Yes, gender inclusive housing is a great opportunity from the Office of Residential Life. If you need or want gender inclusive housing, it's an opportunity to be placed in a room or on a floor that has no regard to your gender identity. If you would prefer to be on an all-male floor, we have all-male floors, we have all-female floors, we have co-op floors, as well as gender inclusive floors. So for anybody who's interested or would like to request information about gender inclusive housing, you could either email myself at simo0625@morris.umn.edu, or you can email Holly Rutter at hrutter, that's RUTTER, @morris.umn.edu, and just mention that you're interested in getting some information or that you'd like to request gender inclusive housing.
But yeah, where do you think Morris as a university community, regarding being more inclusive and welcoming for our very diverse and intersecting identities of gender and sexuality and LGBTQIA2S+. Where do you think we need to go? Any hopes and dreams for maybe your work in this role in the next 3 to 5 years?
Yeah, that's, as I said before, there's always room to grow. There's always things to improve in. And although Morris has done a great job so far, I'm so excited to be working here at this moment to kind of watch it grow a little bit more in this regard. For those of you that know, the Morris community can be kind of not as diverse when it's not on campus. So the town of Morris is not as diverse. And so I think there's a lot more work that can be done with the community to, especially with, I've seen there's a couple professors that are working on painting Black Lives Matter signs, and there's some other staff members that have been helping with that. It's been great to see that up around Morris. And I'm really excited to get kind of the admissions numbers for our diversity statistics back up. I think I'm really excited to go and speak to those conservative high schools that like I went to, and speak to the queer students and say, come to Morris, it's really a great place, and kind of, you know, just help more people discover how great Morris is, and they can help make it even better.
Excellent. Well, I think that you ended it very well there. And so that'll wrap up this session of EDI Q&A in 20. And hopefully you'll connect back with us to hear more about some other peoples and programs and offices. So thanks so much, Jade, for your time.
Yeah, thanks, Liz.